guys, Grounded Critic here. Thanks for tuning in to the channel. Today we have a Bat Family tier list, right? So this is gonna be a little different than top fives. I figured let's get into the tier list. We've got a lot of cool figures coming out. Like I'm definitely doing a review of Batman, and there's no way I could cut that down to a top five, maybe even a top 10 tier list. That is the way to go for that. So I figured we'll kind of ease into the tier list with the Bat Family. So we're gonna check those guys out. Let me know if you enjoy the format. So these tier lists are usually pretty easy. We got this little sheet here, and I just like take pictures off of Amazon or whatever, or the McFarlane website, and just stick them in there. So we're gonna do that. It's a lot more you know, mundane than my normal reviews, so it should be a lot easier. I can crank these out. But you know what? No, I'm looking at this. I hate it. I'm not doing this. I'm not. I just can't. We gotta change this up. This is not. No, that ain't gonna fly. Let's try something else. Okay, yeah, that'll do. We'll try that. So I guess let's just get into it. All right, let's get right on into it. First figure up is Red Hood from Arkham Knight. Okay, so right away, it's got an interesting design. Not my favorite for Red Hood, but definitely not my least favorite either. There's a lot of cool stuff with this figure. There's some really cool details on the knee pads and stuff. He's a bulkier figure, got pretty decent articulation. The hood does block some of his head movements, so that makes it a little hard. But overall, I think this guy gets a B. All right, we have Rebirth Robin, Damian Wayne. I like this figure. I'm sorry, I just do. He's got kind of like an animated head. He looks a little smug. I like the little shoulder spikes. You know, it reminds me of 90s Batman. I love that. Overall, yeah, the paint job looks good. Textures are great. He's fun to pose. I like him. He's a cool little dude. Yeah, you know what? We'll give him an A. I think he earned it. Okay, now we've got Duke Thomas, the Signal. Yellow and gray looks really cool. We don't get to see that very often. If yellow is usually used as an accent color instead of the main primary color. So I think it just stands out really well on this figure. The texturing is awesome. He's got really good points of articulation. Only things I don't really like is I don't like that you can see these weird animated eyes on the visor. I think that looks kind of bad. In fact, the whole helmet gives a little bit of a Power Rangers vibe, which I'm not really feeling. And the outline on the symbol is just kind of dumb, but that's from the comic, so it's not really the figure's fault. Otherwise, yeah, it's a pretty sweet figure. I would definitely say pick it up, so I would put him as a B. All right, here's a figure that we have. It's the original Nightwing figure that they released. I think his neck should have been longer. I do like the added detail of the costume. I think it looks pretty nice. The little extra, you know, textures, but I don't know. I never quite digging this figure. I don't like the outline around the eyes. This is three-dimensional. It's not drawn on, so the outline just kind of looks a little weird to me. And he's very serious, like a very serious Nightwing. And I always kind of prefer Nightwing to have a little more personality than that. And also he was the first one that I really noticed the diaper. I think it stands out and it kind of annoys me, and I don't like the diaper here. So you know what? Yeah, you get a C. Sorry. Okay, up next we have Robin of Earth -22. This Robin, I believe they just always said Crow. He looks cool. He looks very cool, and he actually can, you wouldn't know it from looking at him, but the rubber that covers his chest is thin enough that he actually can bend pretty well, and you get some really cool articulation with this guy. He has just like a really DC zombie Jokerized look to him. He just looks cool. You know, I don't always dig the way out there figures, but this one, I don't know. We'll put him in the B. All right, let's talk about Ghostmaker. This guy, that is something. That is a really, really interesting design. The textures on this guy are crazy. He's got this really cool sword holder for both swords. He's really cool. Only real major issue I have with him, a lot of his points of articulation are hindered, especially in the legs. There's not a whole lot you can do with posing him, so that kind of sucks. But he is really cool. Really cool looking. So overall, that Ghostmaker, you're getting a B. Okay, this figure, I don't even know what is going on with this figure. This is the Robin King figure. The head sculpt's great. The head sculpt just looks great, but I kind of just hate this as a concept, right? It's like they took Robin and mixed him with Joffrey from Game of Thrones and said, yeah, let's do that. And then make him like like Joker or something. I mean, they did a decent job with the figure. I can't blame it, the sculpt or anything. The gloves are cool. I just don't like it as a concept. What is the purpose of this, right? Some things are like they have no purpose, but they're just so cool that you're just sucked into it. You're like, yeah, that's fine. It's weird, but it's cool. This one doesn't do it for me. I'm not feeling it. It's too many weird concepts kind of just smushed together. D. All right, now we have the original Batgirl figure that they released from Art of the Crime. This is a very different costume design for Batgirl. It's not the one that I was at least used to, but I kind of dig it. She has more of like an animated kind of a cartoony head design, and it just makes her like really fun to look at. I think she's really well done. Even the backpack under the cape, kind of cool. Kind of a cool concept. Would this be my like go-to Batgirl figure design? No, probably not. I would probably stick with something a little more classic. But as a standalone figure, just looking at it and posing it and having it up on the shelf, yeah, I dig it. So we'll put her, she gets a B. Yes, up next we have Batwing from Batman Incorporated. I bought this figure and I looked at him and I was like, he's not gonna be that great. I took him out, started posing him. Man, does he pose well. The way they attach the shoulder plates, you can just move it around everywhere. He's really flexible, has so many good ways to pose him. The wings are awesome. He comes with like little fire effects, so it looks like he's flying. Awesome. Really, really great figure. Every time I take him out and start posing him, he just looks so cool. Yes, my only thing is I really would love to see someone take this figure and give him like a paint wash to really bring out all those mechanical details and stuff. I think that would bring it up to the next level. That's literally my only downside in this figure. I think other than that, he's super awesome. And yeah, he definitely gets an A. All right, now we have Red Robin from the New 52. Does that sound right? Yes, I believe New 52. This costume, if I remember correctly, was based on the Kingdom Come style. They just changed the mask and gave it more of a Robin look to him. It's cool. I like it. Overall, it's pretty sweet. The wings are cool. I wish they were detachable. That's something I kind of hate with all these characters that have wings is you got to make them detachable because I don't really want them there all the time. Unless you're like Hawkman and they're part of your body. No, like get rid of them. Not much in the way of downsides. I think his symbol's a little hard to see, so they could have done a little better job with the paint job there. Other than that, the colors are really cool. The red and black look pretty good. We'll give him a B. Up next, we have the Nightwing Jokerized, I guess you could say. It's from the Death in the Family. Again, we have all the same problems of the original Nightwing release. They just repainted him. The only thing they actually fixed on this is his neck. Can we take that head height and move that to the other figure? That would be great. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, the hair's cool. The head sculpt's cool for what it is, but he just looks like a shriveled up old man Joker Nightwing. I don't know. I don't need this. I really don't need this. I don't know. The only way this figure works for me is if you do the rest of the Bat family as well. If you give me Robin and a Batgirl in the same design, you know what? Maybe I'll have like a full collection. Maybe it'll be worth it to me. But as it stands right now, it's just a less cool version of the other Nightwing, which I already had enough problems with that. I'm not feeling it. So for now, you get a D. Okay, how about this figure, the Gotham Knights Red Hood? He's bulky, which he was in the game. Yeah, it's nice. Not my favorite costume design for him. He has a cut in the, like an ab cut, and you can't really do much with it. You can kind of turn him side to side, but you cannot bend it up or down. So it's, doesn't do too much for me. But overall, yeah, he's pretty cool. I think he just squeaks in with a B. This one, you guys are probably going to be a little mad at me about. I know that a lot of people seem to like this figure. She's not my favorite. I think her neck feels way too short. I think the issue is they used the same lower half from the original Batgirl figure and same hands, and then they got up to the head and were like, oh no, she's going to scale too big still. So let's just get rid of her neck. And again, we've got the side eye, which I don't like. I do like the style though. This is when I think of Batgirl, this is the costume I think of for her. So I'm a little sad that it wasn't a little better of a mold. And as I said earlier, so she does use the same lower half, and you can tell that very easily because she has the leftover triangle pieces coming down from where her belt was on the other figure, and it looks stupid on here. Unfortunately, I'm going to give her a C. Okay, that brings us to Carrie Kelly Robin from Dark Knight Returns. Very cartoony, animated 80s style, fits the comic book really well. Only downsides that I can see is that there's no gut articulation, so she can't like lean over or lean back at all. So yeah, that's a little sad. But other than that, yeah, really cool. She scales really well with the other figures from that line. The glasses are awesome. Come on, let's go watch like a 3D movie. So yeah, Carrie, you're going to we'll put you in the B category. All right, that brings us to Tim Drake. I believe this is Robin Reborn. This is the costume that I grew up with seeing Robin in. And so because of that, I'm maybe a little biased, and I really like the look of it. Downsides, the paint apps on mine are, I believe his arms are green underneath and they painted this skin tone on. And because of that, I'm getting like a lot of like scratch parts where you can see the green coming through on the arms. And I kind of really don't like that. On the collar, there's a little bit of paint problems too. And the head, I'm not the biggest fan of the head design they picked for this guy. But because of the style and that classicness to him and just overall good points of articulation, yeah, he definitely gets a B. Okay, we have Batwoman from Batman Beyond. Let me start by saying, yes, I love Batman Beyond. I love the cartoon. I love the comics. Batman Beyond is my jam. Batwoman, I wasn't really a huge fan of her, but I really like this figure. And I particularly like the unmasked head version. This is maybe the best female head that McFarlane has done in this line. It just looks really good. I like it a lot. I don't like the eyes, the kind of Venom symbiote eyes that they gave Batwoman, but the unmasked head figure is awesome. It just looks great. The costume, the rest of the costume looks really cool. I like the boots, the gloves, everything else. Awesome. The wings should be detachable. I don't like how they're just kind of stuck on there. I gotta say, maybe I'm a little biased, but I love the Batman Beyond look and the world so much that, I don't know, she gets an A. All right, now we have the Gotham Knights Robin. This would be Tim Drake. I do not like this costume design at all. It kind of just annoys me. Like, he has this weird flap thing, which is not even a cape. It's just like a weird flap. Why have that? What does that add? It's he's got the side eye, which I really don't like. His points of articulation are fine. Does a good enough job. The head sculpt is decent. I really don't like the side eye and some of the paint job that they gave him, but I mean, the sculpt itself is okay. So I guess, yeah, we'll give you a C. Okay, we have Red Hood from the Three Jokers. This Red Hood actually has a red hood. A few of them do, and this one does, and it looks great. I love it. I love the design. I love the like shiny chromed out helmet. He's super great. There's all kinds of little details. You can see like pockets and zippers and just little bits of red here and there. It just looks cool. I love the design. I wish he was just slightly bulkier or a little bit bigger for scaling with other figures, but on his own, he just looks awesome. My only real downside is I wish he had some freaking holsters so he could have some guns. I hate that we have all these Red Hood figures that have no guns. Come on. I know you can buy the gun packs, but at least then give me the holster so I have somewhere to put them. That's it. That's like my only downside. Otherwise, he's awesome. So he definitely gets an A. Up next, we've got it's Robin, Infinite Frontier, Damian Wayne. Let me just start this by saying, again, here's another thing where we have a more or less well done sculpt on a terrible design. I hate this design for Robin. I hate it. When I think of Robin, I think of green and red and yellow. This is like all black and gray and white with just a little bit of red and yellow and then green laces. I think it looks okay in the comics, but on a figure, no. I don't like this. His mask doesn't even connect, so he almost looks like he's got like Spider-Man lenses or something. I don't like it. I do like the unmasked head just to have like a Damian Wayne head. So that figure to me would be worth it to get. But this one, there's so many other versions of Damian that I would rather see, like the all yellow cape This one, I didn't need this. It's fine. I just don't like it. So you get a D. Up next, it is the Nightwing from Gotham Knights. I intentionally held this one towards the end because I need to talk about Gotham Knights as a whole. The costume designs that they went with for this game kind of suck across the board. I know it's personal opinion, but I feel like having played the game, almost every single alternate costume you can get in the game is a better design than the ones you start with. And I feel like that was intentional, so you would want to grind out the game to get different costumes or pay money for the downloadable costumes just to switch to something better than what they start you with. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. Every one of them just looks kind of dumb, but that's just the design. Let's talk about the figure specifically. This figure sucks. It just sucks. His arms are like stuck out. You can't bring them any closer to his, like he can't put his arms down to his sides. So it looks like he's always got them kind of hanging slightly out. He's got this giant gap between his head and his neck. I feel like they put the wrong head pin in there and just said, yeah, who cares? No one's going to look at him from the side anyway. So he's got this giant, huge gap where his neck should be. His hands, the pointer finger is disconnected from the lower three fingers. That's like a trigger finger hand. They gave Nightwing trigger finger hands when all he comes with is his sticks. Meanwhile, Red Hood comes with alternate hands. He has fist hands and gun-pointed finger hands. He doesn't come with holster hands for like holding guns. He comes with pointing like, ooh, bang, bang hands. Why the crap did you give Nightwing these hands when you gave Red Hood those? It feels like the game. If you guys like the game, I'm sorry. You know, I'm one person and maybe I'm stupid. I did not like the game and I don't like the designs and I don't really like any of the figures from this wave. I think Red Hood's the best and he's kind of decent, but the other ones all really kind of suck. And Nightwing is the worst of them. He's got a dopey look on his face. His articulation ain't great. The costume design is kind of stupid. He's like the worst of all the things. So yeah, dumpster fire. You get an F. Goodbye. Okay, well, what do we got here? Oh, look, another Nightwing. Let's see. Last one got dumpster fire. What does this one get? Well, we'll get to that in a second. Let me just talk about this one for a second. I don't know. I like him. I like him a lot. I love the blue color. That screams Nightwing to me. His shape is great. He's got a very like acrobat kind of like shape. He's really fun to pose. Lots of articulation and movement. He can do so much stuff. I like the little smirk he's got on his face. It feels very Nightwing to me. Really, my only downsides are that the butterfly joints kind of break up the symbol. I don't know how you fix that. So I'm not going to really judge him too harshly on that. And then the only other issue I really have with him is he's got these weird kind of hair strands that kind of just stick down. That it's a style, not my favorite style, not necessarily what I would have gone with, but that's pretty much it. Everything else is awesome. I like him quite a bit. I'm glad we have like a Nightwing that, you know, actually has some personality. It doesn't just look like he's either angry or constipated. Because of that, he's definitely my favorite Nightwing, and I just love Nightwing as a character anyway. So, you know what? We'll be generous. You get an A. All right, guys. Well, that's the entire Bat family of figures that I own. But I do have another tier list coming out eventually. If McFarlane makes enough Scarecrow and Sinestro or other Yellow Lantern figures, that's going to be a tier list. And I'm really excited for it because I already have the name. It's going to be Tears for Fears. Get it? Because we'll cut this out. This never happened. Nope, never, nope, done. So that's what we got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought. Where I can improve, where I can unimprove, where I can be worse at. That's not something I want to tell people. Well, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, stay grounded.